Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Jez7780 coming via car on the road, driving through horrible weather, snow, rain, ice, sitting in traffic. I just threw on my phone, listened to some shows, and some recent news just came out. And so I'm just going live on this phone. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know how I sound. But I figured I'll just throw it on and see what happens. What's up, guys? I don't know if I can read too much of the chat. But I just threw my phone on. So yeah, I just saw this thing going on with Sony. I heard that they are not going to E3. They had dropped out of E3 per the what is it? The ESA, the guys that do E3. And they confirmed it, and Jason Schreier put it on Twitter, and I was like, holy crap, this is crazy. Could it be that they're afraid of Microsoft Studios? All those studios that Microsoft bought up. Maybe Microsoft's just putting Sony in a corner. Nobody puts baby in the corner. But anyway, maybe, I don't know what's going on, but man, this is some crazy ass shit. Oh my goodness, I tell you. E3 is going to be a freaking shell. Now, I don't know if them not going to E3 means they're not going to be on the floor, and maybe they will still have a press conference or have it at another location, like what Microsoft did at their thing. But apparently, they confirmed that Sony has dropped out of E3 2019, and they will just not be part of E3. Whether they have their own event during the same time, or they kind of do what Microsoft did, I don't think. It also means they're probably not going to have any floor space. But they just confirmed this thing, and the Sony has not come out with any PR about it. And, I'm pardon the rain and shit that's going on. But Sony has not come out like anything to talk about any PR about it, but they are out of friggin' E3. What the hell's going on? That's right. I'm just driving. I was like, I gotta take a drive in some horrible weather. This is some crazy shit going down. First they had that trash of XO18 show. Now Sony's not at E3. What the hell's going on with gaming? What is going on with gaming? I don't understand. We got crazy shit going on. And that's in my fear. So this is the reason why I wanted to just jump on this phone. Because it's like, is 2019 gonna be a wait and see? Just you already know what's coming out. You got on the Microsoft end, you got Crackdown, Ori, Gears 5, and on Sony end, you got Days Gone. Maybe the Death Stranding gets a release date announced at the game show. It comes out next year. Last of Us 2, if it does, we still don't know. These are ifs. And I don't know about Ghost of Tsushima, but that's kind of your lineup. Now, that's a great lineup, and I think Microsoft's lineup is not bad with Ori and Gears. Crackdown, we'll see. But, is that what 2019? That balls to the wall console show? Shit, I don't know, man, but damn, what is going on? E3. It's going to be like THQ Nordic just running the show, basically at E3. Maybe Sony's going to grab some more couches? They have a couch show? I don't know. Oh, maybe they said, yo, everybody loved the couches at PSX. We're going to do couches. Yo. What's up, guys? I can't really read too much in the chat, but keep chatting. I'll take a peek when I pull over. But man, I just don't. It could go either way. It could go totally different ways here. We could go and see them do an own event. They'll do their own event possibly, and and just kind of. I don't know if they're gonna talk PlayStation 5 either. Have an event. Does Microsoft, or they could just skip 2019 altogether and just say, here are the games, we'll communicate via Twitter. No big road show. They canceled PSX. didn't have a big show over at Paris Games Week, like any kind of conference or anything like that, or like kind of like user stream. What? I don't know, but it could go that. They could remain silent, and maybe they just don't want to talk about it. But man, if 2019 is just going to be like even Microsoft's end, like not talking about really what the studios are making and just kind of just wait for the blowout of the next generation. I don't know, man. It is just crazy. This is such a curveball to E3. Like Microsoft pulled out technically, like they have their Mixer booth and they did an event next to the E3. I don't know if this is similar. Maybe Sony just gonna have an event on off-site and have a conference or something there. They're just not going to have anything on the E3 show floor and basically have their own kind of PSX, like just like how Microsoft had, like that kind of E3 fan fest on their own building, their own terms. They could control everything and not be confined to some floor space that E3 is going to provide, and they could rent out a whole thing. I don't know what that means. It's sort of like what EA does with EA Play. And maybe that's what Sony's going to be doing. So maybe you see that they're just pulling out E3. Because I remember last year, or this year, was with Microsoft with that floor space. That friggin' little hot dog stand that they were going to have at E3. And then they wound up renting out the whole big theater across the way. The Microsoft the theater. So maybe, maybe this doesn't mean no news. And maybe they'll just do a big combination. But, who the hell knows what the hell's going on? But if they do nothing, and maybe if Microsoft does something around that time, but man, E3 itself, the show floor itself, it's going to be basically THQ Nordic and some indie guys. E3, it could be that the convention center's up in their prices, maybe the space, maybe the time of year is just bad. I don't know. The fact that June is just not a good time. Maybe they want to have their events later on in the year. But, I would think if you're looking at it between competition, if Sony really doesn't do anything at E3 and remains silent next year because we're just in the kind of the holding pattern waiting for the next generation and they don't want to announce any new games, could you sit there and just be like, Microsoft drops a bunch of new game announcements, and because it's going to be cross-gen or whatever like that with their studios, could really steal the show. But, as we've seen, Microsoft has missed a lot of opportunities, when they had it, just like this year. Like, they had a big opportunity with XO to really drive home the X, the new games that are coming out early next year, like Crackdown, even show some more of Ori, and they really kind of fell flat on their face with Major Nelson Crazy Eddie skits and acting goofy with crazy-ass shirts. A missed opportunity. All eyes were on them. Same thing with Gamescom. All eyes were on them. They had a special Gamescom inside Xbox, and Sony was no show again, and Microsoft really didn't drive home. They could have blew out basically Crackdown and didn't do it there either. So those were two opportunities that they had where Sony was a no-show. Could this be a third opportunity? And E3 is even bigger. And Microsoft's having pretty good E3s with some news and stuff. If they can show some of the games and Sony just stays quiet, that would be a good move. See, I thought Sony's going to try to jump in front of this power thing and try to just talk about the PlayStation 5 just to get people not to start thinking about moving over with the X, especially if you have more games like like inside, like Red Dead Redemption, if more of those games come about. Because as soon as Sony just like, oh, here's a more powerful console, all of a sudden the power thing becomes null and void. I thought they wanted to jump ahead of that, but you got to look at it. If that PlayStation's selling like crazy, and they are speculating, Jason Schreier tweeted this out. He thinks this is not, and this is him. He talks some crazy bullshit about the Bethesda. And, he just seems kind of being like opposite narrative. But he feels that this is not a testament to E3's relevance, which I think that's bullshit, because I think it totally is to E3's relevance, but more of just Sony's strategy of not basically having anything to show. of new games because they're waiting for 2020 where they could show the PlayStation 5. That's what he thinks. And that's what his inner rumblings say too. So if Sony's just not going to show any new games because they're planning to show them with announcing the 2020 PlayStation 5, then what's E3 going to be? Another rehash of what? Last of Us? A deep dive into that? You don't know. But this is crazy. I think that it's just E3 itself. This is not just the first person leaving. Like, Microsoft technically left E3 in the show floor, like had a mixer booth basically there, and just did their own event next to it. EA did it. And maybe now Sony's doing it. And maybe it has to do with the cost of the booth, the restrictions of that. And, you know, in addition to maybe not the way that they want to show their games. I don't know. Yeah, I thought the title would be funny. That's the only reason I wanted to do it, because I was thinking that. I was like, oh shit. I was like, let's put the title out there that they're afraid of Microsoft Studios. That's why Sony's skipping out. They're afraid. But yeah, man, I just a little trolling, a little fun, having a little fun, because this is a very scary moment. This is some shocking shit, you know. So I was like, damn, I gotta put some, because this is hot off the presses. I was like, what the hell's going on? Dropping out of E3. E3's the friggin' Super Bowl. Yeah, I tell you. You know, and this is the thing, and this is not like, you know, I don't think, I'm waiting for like what they're gonna say, you know. I don't think confirming now that they're not going to E3, that they're just gonna let this shit sit to June. I'm sure they're gonna say something. Maybe something shows up in the next day or so, maybe at the Game Awards, because if this thing leaks, this is not a good PR move if they're just dropping out of E3. Going into the holiday, you find out Sony has nothing to show next year, next E3. It could be something that could be a negative PR move, and kind of a dumb time to do this. So I could think that maybe, you know, they might say something. But as I said, it could be two different things. They could be like, no, we're having an event, like Microsoft's doing, a side event. You know, we're not going to have a booth space. That's why we're not being part of that. But I do recall when Microsoft did it, though, they still were partnering with the ESA. They still said, oh, we're still partnering with the ESA. We're still part of E3, but we're just not having it on the show floor. We're going to be doing something else. And this Sony means like they're just going AWOL. But, you know, I just think it would be, I think it would hurt, even though it's selling pretty well, I think it would hurt them if they just stay silent next year. Even though the games that they've confirmed, we don't have release dates on, only on one of them. And that got delayed. Days Gone got delayed to April or May. So, like, and also, too, the question of having a Days Gone and a Last of Us 2, you know, in the same year. So, I don't know. Like, you know, could they, like, you know, I am of the mantra, if you have nothing to show, then don't show anything. Don't act like you got news when you don't have news. That was one of my big frustrations with XO. And what Microsoft's been doing is hyping up kind of just stuff that really didn't need an event for. And, you know, maybe Sony's just seeing the reaction, or just thinking that, you know, we really just have some games. We really don't want to show everything that we got because it's going to be next gen. Don't want to show it. Who knows? But it is pretty crazy. And maybe something comes out in the next few minutes or next couple of days where they're like, guys, we're not leaving anything, we're just having an event, or that they mistakenly read this bullshit. I don't know, but the ESA confirmed it apparently from Jason Schreider. Basically, he was saying that, you know, this is true. We will see. But I don't, you know, E3 looking spooky as shit. A THQ Nordic show. Watch their ass has a conference. And Ubisoft. To be Ubisoft and THQ Nordic on E3 with their hands in their pockets. Because THQ Nordic has about 32 games or some shit like that. And Microsoft will be partying in the booth with the studios. And Sony might have their own event. Who the hell knows? But this is some crazy, crazy shit. Because this is a big, big presence they had at E3. They had one of the biggest booths. And they're pulling out. And, you know, like I said before, Microsoft had two opportunities so far, Gamescom and XO, of kind of showing what they got. And they just said, tease some stuff. Let's see if this remains true. And Sony has no show at E3. Does Microsoft capitalize on that? Or do they have Agent Nelson wear his Sunday best flower shirt? Hold on, I'm driving through some salt. Oh, there we go. They're shooting salt at me. Throw that salt. Oh, shit, you got the salt. They got the salt throwing. But we will see. It is some crazy ass shit going on at E3. And Nintendo's going to do their direct. Maybe Reggie comes back out on stage. But maybe Microsoft comes out and maybe Nelson got his best flower shirt on. And he dumps around on stage, crazy Larry style. But there's going to be some crazy ass shit going on the next couple days. And Sony better come out ahead of this news to even talk about it, because going into the holidays and people will be running around going, they're skipping E3, they're going to be a no-show. And, I don't think that's great. I don't think that's good for them to hear that. I think we could be a little more optimistic in the fact that they did show some amazing first-party games that we don't have dates to three of them. But, if that's next year and all four of those games come out next year, like, it's an amazing year. Like, especially Last of Us 2 and, if Ghost of Tsushima turns out to be what it is and we figure out what the hell Death Stranding is, which I think the Game Awards, Jeff Keighley and Kojima are going to be loving each other, and they're going to have they're going to announce the birth date of their baby. And that's going to be the release date of Death Stranding. And then they'll have an announcement party. Jeff will tell us if it's a boy or a girl, and Kojima and Keighley could have their baby announcement. So I'm thinking that's what the Game Awards is this year. But I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going to happen. But this is some hot off the press, some crazy bullshit. I was driving. I was like, let me turn on my YouTube Live. I don't know how the hell this shit works. Yell at my phone. And just be like, yo, what the hell is going on out there? Because E3, we're finding out November that Sony's not E3. This is not a last minute thing. This is not booth space. And could the Microsoft Studio announcements have Sony shaking in their boots? Oh man, that Obsidian announcement. They just went in. What's his name? What's his name? Andrew House called up. He goes, Yoshida, shut that shit down. Obsidian is going to Microsoft. Shut PlayStation down. Cancel everything. Get the fuck out of gaming. Obsidian is now with Microsoft. Shut it down. And Yoshida took off his VR. I was like, oh shit. All right, we'll shut it down. Cancel E3. I don't know, man. That's some joking shit. I have no clue. But my goodness. But anyway, Microsoft's eating their turkey now. So they're going to go through the holidays. They'll, like, Game Awards, Game of the Year talk right now. See if Sony comes out with any PR as to why they're stepping out of E3. If they go, yo, we got nothing to show, we'll check back with us in 2020. Microsoft's doing something similar, but they're telling you that they're buying studios, so they're preparing for the next generation. And we kind of have our lineups for next year. I'm just going to think, if we just sit with what we know right now going into 2019 is going to be a shitstorm. And I think I said this on one of my Grinds My Gears. I think I said the next generation is going to be a shit show. It's going to be where you play. Can you play wiping your ass? Can you play in your car? Oh my goodness, can I play on this tablet? No, not this one. You want to hook up a controller to this one? Can I play on the toilet bowl? It is going to be a mess. All I hope is whatever crazy services and horse shit they got going on is that at least we get some cool new games. No remasters, no remakes, no, republished shit. Just give us some nice, great new games. Now, whether they're little games or they're big games, as long as they're fun. And that's all it's about. But, you know, I don't know how good my audio is. Hit the like button. Share the video. I'm sorry for the troll kind of comment, but I thought that was hilarious. I just thought of that in my head. I was like, oh shit, I gotta go friggin' tweet this out or do a YouTube on it. But anyway, I'll be finding out once I get to my home base to figure out what the hell's going on. But as of right now, the ESA and Strider and Twitter basically said that Sony is dropping out of E3 2019. That leaves Microsoft, that they're going to continue with their theater that they have across the street. If Nintendo does a Nintendo Direct, but Sony will not have that monstrous booth space, and they won't be there at E3. Who knows if they have another event? Who knows if they have a February event? Who knows if there's a PSX 19? Who the hell knows? But all I know, this is hot news coming off the presses, and this shit's wild. So stay safe out there if you're driving around the Northeast. I'll be safe. And this is, again, Jez7780 with Grinds My Gears. Like the video, subscribe, and I'm out. See you later, grinders.